Welcome everybody to Kentucky Speedway. Welcome back. My name is Josh Hall. This is Intensity Broadcasting's live coverage of the Original Rebels Racing League whole sheet metal Sunday Night Truck Series. We've got cars currently on track getting practice underway. Jonah Colbert currently at the top of the leaderboard. Great looking ride on that 31 machine. Chris McLean currently second fastest. Alien Eddie Smith is third fastest. Christian Dedman and Tracy Passions, your top five. But it's just practice. We know it's all about the real thing coming up. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. Still up at the top of the board is Garrett Kinder, Eddie Smith, and Daniel Cunningham, your top three. Brandon Wallace and Jonah Colbert round out the top five. Spencer Gay, Chris Heiner, Josh Oswald, Tracy Passions, Cody Bohm all make up your top 10. Then Mickey Isaac in 11th, William Griffith in 12th, Tyler Rice, Christian Dedman, and Kernan Church, and Aaron Adcock all tied for 14th. Then 15th is Charles Stevens, Alex Veith 18th, Jason Lottridge 19th, and then Chris McLean and Josh Lokovitz both tied for 20th. As we see McLean currently out on track, coming down pit road, getting some practice in here tonight. Saw a great race where Andy Kurtz won the Outlaw Series race. And what was going to be a fuel mileage race turned into a great race there at the end, with the caution coming out with about 17 to go. Kyle Roberts in that big frig machine, currently in the 7th position on track. They're here in practice. As qualifying practice has just ended and qualifying is getting ready to begin. 2 laps of qualifying here around this 1.5 mile D-shaped oval. As Christian Dedman is one of the first trucks to make its way out onto the track. And if you weren't with us in the first race, I do apologize if I have any hiccups or any slow transitions, or if I'm missing any graphics. Yesterday, my computer decided to nuke itself, and I spent the entire day today reinstalling a new hard drive and reinstalling Windows completely. Anybody who has a computer knows how frustrating that can be. But we're here, we're live, and we're getting ready for 100 laps of a great race here at Kentucky. Eddie Smith currently up to the top of the board. Dedman makes his way down into turns 3 and 4, right there on that yellow line. Actually crossed it a little bit, helping that truck turn. Coming down to the start-finish line. We'll see where Dedman slides in here as he takes the checkered flag. And currently jumps up to the pole position. We'll see if Eddie Smith in that 87 Tide ride, catches the wall. He will not be able to overtake Christian Dedman for that pole position. Jesse Necula now coming down to the stripe. And Necula is going to slide up into 4th. Jonah Colbert goes quickest so far of the trucks that have run. Tyler Rice just took the green flag and is making its way down the backstretch. Tyler Race moves up into the 10th position. And Tyler Rice is going to stay in the 10th position currently. Chris McLean showed some speed here in qualifying. Makes his way off of turn number 4. Coming to the white flag. His first lap is going to move him up into the 7th position. See what he's able to do here on his second lap. They were really loose there through turns 1 and 2, able to keep the speed up though. Down through turns 3 and 4. And to the stripe. And McLean is actually going to go slower on that second lap due to that little slide that he had. Aaron Adcock coming down the backstretch. And his first lap is going to put him up into the 9th position. He makes his way down the backstretch for the final time in qualifying. Just realized my volumes were way out of whack there. And Aaron Adcock is going to stay in the 9th position. Alex Veith currently out on track. Veith coming to take the green flag, get his qualifying attempt underway. And Alex Veith's first lap puts him in the 18th position. We'll see if he's able to improve on that here on his second lap. He's in that little bit of a grip strip that you see there through the corner. There's a little bit of fresh pavement through turns 1 and 2 that does allow for a little bit of grip, as you see that through 3 and 4 as well. And Veith is going to stay in that 18th position as Charles Stevens Jr. just took the green flag. Down to the stripe. He's first lap's going to put him P14. And off a turn number 4 down to the stripe, and Charles Stevens Jr. is going to stay P14 as Mickey Isaac is just making his way on the track with about 2.5 minutes to go. And off of turn number 4, Isaac coming to the white flag. First lap up into the 18th position. Still have 4 trucks left to take time. Cody Bohm, Mike Veith, Josh Oswald, and Garrett Kinder yet to set a time. As Isaac comes across the stripe. And he will go P15 as Garrett Kinder now making his way out onto the track. And I did not see him in practice. And Kinder coming to take the green flag. Again, didn't see a single lap of practice out of Kinder. I didn't see him connect until just recently, so I don't think has any experience on the track here tonight. Let's see what he's able to do with it. He comes through 3 and 4 for the first time. What's that going to put him at on the first lap? Currently good enough for 19th. Down the long backstretch and into turn number 3. And that's going to do it on time. Kinder is not going to get a second lap in. So that is going to bring us to our grid. And of course, your Peg Leg Pole Award winner tonight will be the 31 of Jonah Colbert, with Christian Dedman starting in P number 2. Tracy Passions and Eddie Smith will roll off in row 2, with Kyle Roberts and Christopher Heiner back in row number 3. Jesse Necula and Daniel Cunningham round out row number 4, and your top 10, Chris McLean and the 69 is Spencer Gay. Aaron Adcock and Charlie Elmore will take off from the 11th and 12th positions respectively, with Charlie Elmore and Nick Schaefer back in row number 7. Sorry, Charlie Elmore and Aaron Adcock are in row 6, and Nick Schaefer and Charles Stevens Jr. back in row number 7. Mickey Isaac and Brandon Wallace were in row 8, with Tyler Rice and William Griffith 17th and 18th. Then Garrett Kinder and Dave Jones round out row number 10. Row 11 will be Alex Veith and Josh Oswald, and the final row will be Cody Bohm and the 9 of Mike Veith. So as the field makes their way out onto the track, we get ready for some green flag racing. Once again, we want to thank you for joining us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, we appreciate you tuning in each and every week. As Jonah Colbert's going to lead them down to the line. Christian Dedman to his outside. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Kentucky, and Jonah Colbert with a great jump pulls up in front of Christian Dedman. Tracy Passon's down on the low side trying to make something happen. Eddie Smith right there as well. So Tracy moving up into the second position, pulls right up in front of Dedman. Dedman thought about crossing him over. He does. To make their way down into turns 3 and 4. Now Dedman on the low side, trying to take advantage of the fresh tires. They're side by side for second place. That's allowing Jonah Colbert just to pull away. A little further back, Spencer Gay up on the high side. Already up 3 spots. Kyle Roberts down 3 spots. So a couple big movers already on that first lap. We have trucks jockeying for position all over the place. Tracy Passons and Christian Dedman continue to go at it. Eddie Smith right there in the mix as well. Christopher Heiner up on that high side trying to defend from Spencer Gay, but Spencer Gay on that low lane is going to have the advantage off the corner down the backstretch. They're going to go 3 wide with Chris McLean in the middle. McLean's going to get a 2 for 1 off of turn number 4, so move McLean up into the 6th position. While all the hard battling is going on back here, they're still trying to make it 3 wide. Our leaders are starting to pull away. Paul Passons, thanks for joining in here tonight. One truck we're expecting to make some big moves through the field is the 13 of Garrett Kinder, already up 2 positions, 3 positions up into 16th as he makes his way around his teammate Brandon Wallace. He's got his other teammate Cody Bohm following right along. Tracy Passons now as Christian Dedman all over the back bumper, followed by Eddie Smith, and there's 3 cars under a blanket. As Dedman slides up the track just a little bit. But no harm, no foul as these 3 continue to run in line, trying to run down Jonah Colbert. Spencer Gay now looking down to the inside of Christopher Heiner, but Heiner shuts the door. That breaks all of Spencer Gay's momentum. That allows Kyle Roberts and Jesse Necula to pull right up on the back bumper. Oh, big wiggle out of Aaron Adcock as they come down the backstretch. Adcock able to hold on to it. And the 62 of Nick Schaefer right here in the mix as well. And much like we saw in the first race, once the leader gets out in some fresh air, some clean air, he's able just to pull away from the drivers behind, and that's exactly what he's doing, although Eddie Smith has moved himself around Christian Dedman into the 3rd position. Now Jesse Necula looking up to the outside, or inside, I'm sorry, of Spencer Gay. And Spencer Gay now, all those positions that he gained, he's starting to lose now as Kyle Roberts. Oh, gets into Spencer Gay. Wow, what a save from the driver of the 69. He's able to hold on to it. He's going to lose a couple positions, but he didn't lose the truck. What a great save that we just saw out of the 69 of Spencer Gay as they're trying to make it 3 wide. But he's going to tuck down, or tuck in behind, as here comes the 88 of Charles Stevens trying to get his way in here. And there's Garrett Kinder and Cody Bohm already up into the mix up here as well. So some great racing mid-pack. I see those JC Motorsports boys are using grip hacks. It looks like it as Jonah Colbert Starting to pull away from Tracy Parsons just over a half a second. Then Eddie Smith right back there as well. But the hard racing is coming mid-pack. You see Garrett Kinder already up 3 positions. Cody Bohm up 8 positions. Up into the 14th position. Now 9 positions up. As Charles Stevens Jr. is now battling with Cody Bohm for that 14th position. Back up front, Daniel Cunningham has Chris McLean all over the back bumper. Yes, Cody Bohm and Garrett Kinder now side by side. A couple teammates holding each other up here. Oh, Garrett Kinder made some contact. Believe that was Charlie Elmore back there. Nope, I take that back. That was Charles Stevens Jr. made some contact. So Stevens, a lot of damage to the right side of that truck. And Garrett Kinder has a little bit of damage to his machine as well. I'm trying to figure out how to take care of that, Clayman. I do appreciate that. Yeah, I've trying to block that as we speak. They've been not much I can do about it, and I do apologize for that popping up there. Kyle Roberts has Spencer Gay now looking down underneath him. This is a battle for 11th and 12th. Right there, the 01 of Mickey Isaac in the mix as well. And ooh, big wiggle out of Spencer Gay. Looks like Kyle Roberts may have made a little contact with him right there as Tracy Parsons falling back from Jonah Colbert, but has Eddie Smith, who's still running right there in the tire tracks. Spencer Gay is finally able to get around Kyle Roberts. Mickey Isaac moves around Kyle Roberts as well. We'll definitely do that after the race for sure. Now Christopher Heiner has Jesse Necula all over the back bumper. Necula's trying to move himself back to where he started. It looks like Garrett Kinder's, the damage to Garrett Kinder's truck is actually a little bit more severe than I thought, because he's kind of fallen back just a little bit. It's back into the 15th position. We know these trucks can go right around 50 laps on fuel. So as we come to lap number 20, we know these guys will be pitting probably about 30 laps or so, unless a caution was to come out. Spencer Gay gives up the 11th position to Mickey Isaac. And Heiner now has Nekula looking down underneath him, and Aaron Adcock right there in the wings waiting. See if he can get by as well. And Nick Schaefer making his way through here as well. Our biggest mover, though, is Cody Boehm, as we are 20 laps in, and he's already up 10 positions. So he's been making his way through the field pretty quickly. And he's got his teammate Garrett Kinder right behind as well. Now is the time when the tires are going to give out. Yep, we saw that exactly that in the first race of the night. When the tires started to give out about lap 20 to 25. Already, Jonah Cobert's best lap of the race was a 30.77. His last lap was a 32.46. So that is almost 2 seconds of fall off already in just the first 22 laps. It's going to be impressive as the drivers who were able to save their tires. You see Jesse Nekula moving around Christopher Heiner. Aaron Adcock right there as well. What drivers were able to save their tires to make a run on the long run? Again, we know they can make it to about halfway. And even that might be a little close on fuel. Eddie Smith now taking a look down underneath Tracy Passions. This is a battle for second. Passions fighting hard on that high side, trying to hold on to that second position. Down into turn number 1, and Eddie Smith is going to have the position into the corner, and he's going to solidly take over that number 2 position. I think it'd be a good time for some of these drivers maybe to start thinking about saving a little bit of fuel. You know, running nose to tail like this will save fuel for the driver behind. Driver that's going to be burning the most fuel is Jonah Cobert, who's out to almost a 2.5 second lead over Eddie Smith and Tracy Passions. Mickey Isaac trying to get another position as he's looking around the 3 of Christian Deadman. It looks like a little bit of damage to the right side of Deadman's truck. Now we see Deadman's got it up into the wall. So we'll move Mickey Isaac up into the top 10. As Brandon Wallace now fighting with Alex Veith. He's going to take that position away. And here comes Kyle Roberts. Oh. Cleveland says he thinks that Jonah's either clutching it or lifting way early now. Easy way to find out. We can ride right along with Jonah. And it doesn't sound like either. It sounds like he's still running full laps here. Wide open down the front stretch. Yeah, it doesn't sound like he's lifting or even trying to save any fuel right now. He's just trying to run full bore and try to put as big of a lead out in front of Eddie and Tracy as he can. Although that last time by, Eddie Smith was about a tenth faster. That's Chris Heiner. Has Nick Schaefer in a battle here. The battle for 8th and 9th. And Schaefer just passed the one to take over that 8th position. Clayman says, I'm never in that position to make that call. You know, some of us just aren't. And I understand that completely. Unless it's a super speedway, you'll never find me near the front. As William Griffith just got passed by the 88 Charles Stevens Jr. A lot of damage to some of these trucks. A lot of right side damage to a few of these drivers out here. We'll take a look at Tyler Rice. I believe he's also got right side damage. No, his truck is clean. See Josh Oswald currently running back in the 19th position. Pretty clean truck there. Almore's nice and clean. Roberts is nice and clean. But we have seen quite a few drivers get up into the wall already. There's Garrett Kinder, Brandon Wallace currently running 14th and 15th respectively. We ride along with we ride along with Kinder. You can see that damage to the right front of his truck down there as he's making his way down on the pit road. He's coming very early on the pit road. And we saw this in the first race, a couple drivers splitting the race into 2 stops. Some drivers making it a 1-stop race. We'll have to see. You see the damage to both the 3 and the 13. We'll see if both these drivers take their reset here. Kinder does. And it looks like Christian Dedman is also going to take his reset here. Oh, he missed his pit stall, and yep, he's going to take his. So even though they're going to go down a lap, we saw in the first race just how much of a difference those fresh tires can make. Charles Stevens Jr. also down on pit road. So we'll have to see which strategy works best here tonight. If it's the 1-stop or the 2-stop. Tracy Paston's now fallen quite a bit off of Eddie Smith. Almost a second back. As the field's really starting to get spread out, except for Cody Boehm going around Spencer Gay to move Cody Boehm up 12 positions from where he started, up into the 11th spot. If we take a look there at the track map, you can see just how spread out the field is, almost the entire track. The leader's starting to make his way into some lap traffic. Jesse Necula now hits pit road. Another driver trying to make it that 3-stop race. Chris Heiner and Mickey Isaac. Isaac just moving around Heiner to move up into the 8th position. And Tracy Passions has chased Eddie Smith back down, so I think Eddie's starting to save a little bit of fuel. And Passions is just driving as hard as he can. Chris McLean is a second back from this group as well. And then Daniel Cunningham about 3/4 of a second behind McLean. The lap times have fallen tremendously. Again, Jonah Colbert's best lap of the race was a 30.77. His last was a 32.88. Charlie Moore and Dave Jones both down onto pit road. Now Chris McLean, one of our leaders, pitting on lap number 42, and that is not going to make it to the end of the race. But I think his tire fall off is so great that felt like he had to come out on pit road. Tyler Rice just leaving pit road. Aaron Adcock now making his way down onto pit road. Kyle Roberts also making his way down onto pit road. He's down. Right sides are in the air. You see Aaron Adcock just leaving pit road. As we're getting close to halfway. Again, we know these drivers can make it about halfway on fuel. It's just going to be a matter of... Here comes Tracy Passons down on pit road. It's just going to be a matter of if these guys can stretch it far enough to make it to the end, or if they're planning on making a quick stop at the end. I think the 2-stop strategy employed by Garrett Kinder and Christian Dedman might have more advantages than stopping now on lap 45. If Jonah Colbert can make it to halfway with the lead he has... Oh, caution! Caution is on track. The 35 of Kyle Roberts has stuffed it into the outside wall. And that is going to bring up our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. So we try to take a look and see what happened to the 35. Oh, you see the... Whoops, wrong button there. We'll try that again. My buttons are all moved around, so... See that truck getting out of shape, a big slide and a big overcorrect and hard, what a bad angle into the wall. And that iRacing glitch where the car gets grabbed by the wall. So that does shake everything up, but still not enough laps. Or too many laps left. I think everybody still will have to pit one last time. Cleveland says, ooh, that shakes things up just a little early on the skinny pedal. Yeah, that's for sure. Just got a little too aggressive with that loud pedal, and you see exactly what happened. Oh, hasn't come back around yet. I was going to show where the pit stop times were right there, but 87 with cone violence. Yeah, we saw him take out that cone down there. Fortunately, I don't think it's the orange cone. If y'all follow the orange cone on Twitter, it's always good for, always there for a good laugh. Him and NASCAR Chasm. And if you're just, for those who may have missed the first race or may have not been paying attention to the news, big news out of the NASCAR world today. Both the 11 of Denny Hamlin and the 18 of Kyle Busch were disqualified from the race today, giving the win to Chase Elliott. So kind of a wild news coming out of Pocono here tonight. Also, if you weren't in the first broadcast, I was talking a little bit about some exciting news that iRacing has just announced recently. They just had a big charity race where both Greg Hill and Steve Myers were in the on the broadcast talking about some new features coming to iRacing. And one of the big new features that I'm excited about is their new weather model. And when I say weather model, that includes rain. And why that's exciting for me? Well, a lot of racing games and racing sims, the rain's either on or off, or it might kind of go away for a little bit and come back. You kind of never know what's going to happen. iRacing actually is incorporating an entire radar system into the sim as well. And me, who's a giant weather nut, really looking forward to that because it'll make strategies that much more fun, especially if you can get someone who's an engineer or knows how to read a radar and can help you out with that. As the lights on the pace car are off, and drivers will be waving themselves around the pace car to get back onto the tail end of the lead lap. So yeah, that's something I'm really looking forward to. They didn't say exactly when the build will be out, and it's not going to affect oval racing at all, but if you're on a road course, there is that chance that you might see a rain shower. And knowing how to take a look at that radar to figure out if you want to put on full wet tires or intermediate tires if you're running like the F1 cars could be a lot of fun. So here we go. We're getting ready to restart with the Geico restart zone. Again, if you're unfamiliar, the leader and all cars have to maintain pace speed into that restart zone. The leader has to fire off in that zone. If they fire off too early, then they're going to get black flagged. And if they fire off late, the green flag will go out and racing will resume with or without the leader. So here we go. Pace car is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn. on the pit road. And Jonah Colbert will lead him down to the Geico restart zone. You'll see that Geico both on the wall and on the apron right there. Green flag is back in the air. Immediately to the loud pedal is Jonah Colbert. He's going to get a big jump over Eddie Smith. We see Daniel Cunningham taking a look down to the inside of Smith, but not quite able to tuck down in as Smith is able to retake that second position. Here comes Cody Boehm, our biggest mover of the race, up 18 positions, currently up into the top 5. And he's fighting side by side with Daniel Cunningham for that 4th position. Oh, a little tidbit about the restart zone. If the outside car enters the box before the leader, it black flags them even if the leader still launches first. Interesting to know, as Boehm makes a big aggressive move down to the bottom. Boehm using a little bit of that apron. While they're racing here, Boehm gets up into the 3rd position, but Eddie Smith and Jonah Colbert have pulled away to over a second lead over 3rd place. And Josh Oswald, Brandon Wallace, Alex Veith all under a blanket here. You see Garrett Kinder running way back in 16th, and he is on those old tires still. Kinder was not able to come down pit road on that last caution due to him being a lap down, so he instead decided to take the wave around, but he is on much older tires than the rest of the field, and he's going to be in trouble if this goes green for any length of time. Brandon Wallace, Josh Oswald, side by side. Oswald, though, able to pull out in front of the 99, and Alex Veith fighting hard on the high side as well. Jesse Necula waiting in the wings, hoping that he can slide through as well. No Snack says they can make it to the end from here. Some of them can. There's a couple drivers out there. Garrett Kinder, Christian Denman, Aaron Adcock, Charles Stevens Jr., Charlie Elmore, Tyler Rice, William Griffith. That cannot make it to the end as we got 3 wide. Chris McLean down on the bottom. Jesse Necula on top. Brandon Wallace, the meat in the sandwich. And Tracy Passions thought about making it 4 wide for a second. How about Nick Schaefer looking down underneath Christopher Heiner, trying to take over that 5th position. And he is going to take over that 5th position. Heiner, though, trying to come back, make a little crossover here, but not able to get quite close enough. As Jesse Necula and Alex Veith are now side by side. This is for 10th place. Josh Oswald taking a look down underneath Mickey Isaac. There was almost some contact. And some contact is exactly what those drivers in the back of the field need right now. Those drivers who pit early. As Nick Schaefer has Daniel Cunningham trying to take a look back down to the inside. Not close enough to make that move. Now here comes Christopher Heiner down to the inside. Playing stuck back here, trying to get around Josh Oswald, Mickey Isaac in front of him. Kevin Kinder says he's been watching, but now he can chat. Good to see you, Kevin. Unfortunately, Garrett is not having the best of races. We'll talk about Garrett for a moment. Currently sits back in the 17th position. Did not have the best qualifying attempt. Made some contact early with another driver, kind of wrinkled the fender on that 13 machine. He was not able to fire off very well after that. Came down and pit early, trying to run a two-stop race. And in the middle of his second run, the yellow came out while he was a lap down. So he was forced to stay out and not pit. And now he finds himself just about almost a lap down currently. Leaders are, I believe the leader is just going into turn number 3, where Kinder is just coming off of turn number 2. So he's about a half a lap down. And he'll have to pit again by lap 80 or so. So a tough break for Garrett Kinder tonight. Jesse Nekula moves himself up into the 6th position. And Cody Boehm now has a challenge from behind. The 62 of Nick Schaefer. Garrett has the Las Vegas lag. He just got back from a vacation. Is that where Kinder was, up in Las Vegas? Because if so, I'm jealous, because that's one of my favorite places to go. Daniel Cunningham all over the back bumper of Mickey Isaac as well, trying to continue to move himself forward. Tracy Passon's back in 10th. But the real battle is up here between Cody Boehm and Christopher Heiner for the 4th position. I know Vegas is one of my favorite places to go. Anytime I get back there, though, from there, the jet lag from the West Coast to the East Coast hasn't messed up for about 2 or 3 days, honestly. Let's just say it's, yeah, that's funny. I'm not repeating that, but that's funny. Here comes Heiner looking down to the inside. But still not able to make the move on Cody Boehm. Heiner's going to try to dive in there again, but again, Boehm shutting the door. Ooh, a little wiggle out of the one that time. And that gave him the position down underneath the 78. Boehm a little too strong out in front. They're still side by side behind Cody now. Necula using that high side, trying to get around the one, and he will. Now he's going to try to make it a 2-for-1, trying to side draft the 78 of Cody Boehm. And now they're side by side. Jesse Necula trying to take over that 4th position, and he will, up on the high side. And now Necula looking to get around Schaefer, and he will. So move Jesse Necula up into the 3rd position. So Jesse showing some really late race speed here. And currently the fastest truck out on the track. Eddie Smith currently a 2.5 seconds in front of Jesse Necula. And Jonah Colbert another 2 seconds out in front of Eddie. Now I really starting to wonder if either of these drivers are doing a little bit of lifting and saving. Yep, you see it right there. Jonah Colbert on the clutch, shutting that truck off, trying to save as much fuel as he can, because these trucks do not burn any fuel while they're not running. Let's go back to Eddie Smith, see if he's doing the same thing. Well, he's running down Jonah, so I don't think that Eddie's saving any fuel at all. Nope, I take that back. He is saving fuel. Here's Jesse Necula, see if he's trying to save any bit of fuel here. Now Jesse is not saving any fuels. Charles Stevens Jr. makes his way down on the pit road. She tells me drivers like Garrett Kinder, Christian Dedman, Charlie Elmore will be making their way down on the pit road very soon. And Eddie Smith continues. Even though Eddie's lifting and shutting the truck off, he's actually gaining on the 31 by quite a bit. Spencer Gay looking up to the outside of Mickey Isaac. And Tracy Passon's right there in the mix as well. When we cross the line this time, we'll have just 25 laps to go. As Colbert and Smith saved enough fuel, Garrett Kinder now making his way down on the pit road. So, as I was saying, you'll start seeing these drivers starting to hit pit road. Charlie Elmore, Alex Veith as well. And Chris McLean making his way down on the pit road. So quite a few different strategies going on here. I wonder if anybody, maybe Kinder, might take just 2 tires. No, he took 4 tires there, so as he makes his way to the end of pit road, he will have much more speed than our leaders will, mostly because he'll be on fresh tires and our leaders are starting to save some fuel. And Christopher Heiner trying to get around the 62 of Nick Schaefer. So Nick showed some early run speed, short run speed. He's starting to lose a little bit here on this long run. So the question is going to be, who's got enough gas to make it to the end? And who's going to try to gamble as long as they can? We see Mickey Isaac has Spencer Gay going around him on the high side. Starting to think that Cody Bohm might be saving a little bit of fuel here as well. And the problem is, sometimes you realize too late that you're going to be out of fuel. With Tracy Passons on pit road along with Christian Dedman. For a strategy like this to work, you almost have to start saving fuel from the drop of the green flag. Mickey Isaac, Spencer Gay still going at it. If you start trying to save fuel too late, you're just not going to be able to do it. It's so hard to try to save fuel late in a run as opposed to right off the bat. So we'll see whose strategy works out here. As Cody Bowman, Mickey Isaac almost make some contact. And Chris Heiner up into the fourth position has Nick Schaefer trying to make another move again. I think it's going to be saving more than just 2 laps worth of fuel there. I think it's going to be closer to 5 or 6, which is doable. But again, you're going to have to do it right from the get-go. As Daniel Cunningham now. Oh, we see the 5 of Chris McLean coming through there, and he is a lap down, but you can see just how much faster these fresh tires are as Jesse Necula has now made his way down onto pit road. And that 5 can pretty much put his truck anywhere he wants. You're seeing exactly that right now. As Dave Jones down on the bottom. Dave is a couple laps down. And Chris Heiner runs in third with Nick Schaefer back in fourth. So when Jonah comes across the line this time, we'll have just 15 laps to go. Where the first one came down to a late race caution, this one may actually come down to the fuel mileage. We'll have to see how this one plays out. Eddie Smith way up the track, and that is not a way to save fuel, running all the way up against the wall. Are they still saving? Well, let's listen in and find out. Yep, Jonah Colbert is definitely still saving fuel out there. So right along with Eddie Smith, see if he's out there saving fuel. I imagine he would be. These two are teammates. Eddie's not saving quite as much as Jonah is. Here's Christopher Heiner. See if he's saving as he's getting passed by the 51 of Alex Veith. He's saving, just not on the clutch. He's just rolling off early and getting back to the throttle much later. You see Aaron Adcock going by as well. A little lift on the throttle. Garrett Kinder going by as well. So Heiner was saving. He's let a couple trucks by as he's trying to save to the end. Nick Schaefer, though, pushing as hard as he can right now. He is actually the fastest truck on the track, not on new tires. You see the speed difference right there between fresh and old tires. There's Mickey Isaac now trying to get around Nick Schaefer to get himself up onto the podium. Now we have just 10 laps to go. Jonah does have Eddie Smith a half a second behind. Two of them are running pretty much identical times right now. Jonah ran a 30:03 or 33:03. Eddie Smith ran a 32:99. So even though they're saving, running almost identical lap times, as here comes Aaron Adcock around the 87 of Alex Veith there as well. Just 8 laps to go for Jonah Colbert. See if he can get the win here tonight. Almost made some contact with Aaron Adcock. He didn't see the cars with fresher tires coming by. So we have just 7 laps to go as they come off turn number 4. Make that 6 laps to go. And Eddie Smith is right there. And Eddie, being right there on the back bumper, is actually saving a little bit of fuel by being able to draft along. Fleeman saying the same thing I just said, and I wasn't even looking at the chat. So Eddie trying to do everything he can to save fuel by running in the draft. He's able to do so. 5 laps to go. Just 4 laps to go now. We're riding along with Jonah Cobert on the back bumper. Sounds like he's still saving just a little bit of fuel. Eddie Smith, though, right there in the tire tracks. Three laps ago. Christian Dedman on fresh tires and a full fuel load coming on by. I'm trying to watch these drivers' speeds on my time and scoring to see if anybody runs out of fuel. We'll see that quick drop in speed. But right now, with just 2 laps to go, can Jonah hold on? Did he save enough fuel? Does Eddie have more fuel? Can Eddie make the pass? Down the backstretch they come. See Mike Veith, the next lap car, trying to stay out of the way. And as we come off of turn number 4, white flag will be in the air. 1 lap to go. It's going to come down to Jonah and Eddie. And if either one of them runs out of fuel here, as they come down the backstretch, Eddie's right there on the back bumper. They're going to try to make a move down into turn number 3. Not quite close enough as they come off of turn number 4. Eddie takes a look to the high side, but he's not going to have anything for Jonah Cobert as they come down to the line. Jonah Cobert is going to get the win. Eddie Smith is going to come home in second. How about Mickey Isaac coming home P3? But your winner has Eddie spins Jonah around on the backstretch, and the Demolition Derby starts a little early before Jonah even had an opportunity to celebrate. Cars are just coming, trucks are just coming in flying from every direction. Let's take a look at the results. There they are. And Jonah Colbert gets the win. Eddie Smith comes home second. Mickey Isaac back in third. Daniel Cunningham, Christopher Heiner round out your top 5. 6 belongs to Nick Schaefer. Brandon Wallace in 7th. Josh Oswald in 8th. Cody Bohm 9th. Spencer Gay comes back to 10th. Chris McLean falls back to the 11th position. Tracy Parsons back in 12th. Jesse Necula, Aaron Adcock, and Garrett Kinder round out your top 15. Alex Veith in 16th. Christian Dedmond in 17th. 18th belongs to Mike Veith. 19th, Charles Stevens Jr. Charlie Elmore, your top 20. And then William Griffith, Tyler Rice, Dave Jones, and Kyle Roberts. But it's all about your winner here tonight, the 31 of Jonah Cobert. Let's see if we can talk to our top 3 here tonight. Maybe. So waiting to see if Mickey Isaac jumps up into the waiting room. Well, we've got a moment. We want to thank everybody who makes this possible here in the Original Rebels Racing League. Of course, Whole Heating and Sheet Metal, Smeel Racing Design, Shibuda Crypto, Peg Leg Felts, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, all coming on board and helping out. Of course, we want to thank everybody who joins us each week. And Cleveland, if you're still in the watching the broadcast, can you tell Mickey to get his way up into the waiting room? Of course, we want to also want to thank you. Remind you to check out our web store at intensityBroadcasting.com, where you can find merch, hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs of not just Intensity Broadcasting, but your favorite racing leagues, as well as Atman Weiss. So now let's take a chat with our top three, starting with your third place finisher, Mickey Isaac. Mickey, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh.
Man, what a great run for you here tonight. Coming home P3, saving the fuel at the right time to get yourself up into the top three there. What was the fuel situation for you like there at the end, and when did you start saving to make it to the end?
About lap 80, I started clutching it in both turns, like the whole turn, not touching the brakes. I actually ran out of gas going across the finish line.
So you planned it perfectly there. And that caution kind of came out in an inopportune time for a lot of guys, especially coming out right before halfway. Did that kind of worry you about whether you were going to make it on fuel, or did you think you might have had another caution that might have saved you there at the end?
Actually, I went ahead and started planning. I was shutting the truck off the whole time in the caution.
Well, there you have it. So that's the way to do it. Can't burn any fuel when the truck's turned off. So again, congrats on the podium here tonight. I know next week we move on to Dover. How do you like your chances next week at the concrete Monster Mile?
Not good.
Not one of your favorite tracks, huh?
No, I like Kentucky. Like, I'm from Kentucky, but like I really like this track for some reason. It's just one of like 5. It sticks out to me.
A little home track advantage for you. Well, again, congratulations here on the podium here tonight. Anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give before we let you go here tonight, man?
Well, shout out to Mr. Zach Johnson, like always. He may watch this in the morning. Uh, Appreciate the guys in the league. Appreciate you for the broadcast, and it's a lot of fun for the Sunday nights. I look forward to it every week.
Absolutely. I look forward to calling these every week. And again, congrats on the podium, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon.
I hope so. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sean.
Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks.
So that was your third place finisher, Mickey Isaac. Let's bring in your second place finisher, the Alien Eddie. Eddie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh.
Man, kind of a wild one here tonight on fuel strategy of all things. I know usually these races come right down to the wire, and I saw you trying to make that move on the end there, but just not enough there at the end for you. But how are you on fuel? I know Mickey said he ran out at the line. How are you doing on fuel there at the end?
Yeah, I had saved about. I went around one more time and I ran out in 4, so I saved an extra lap. Basically, I guess for no good reason. I don't know. I was thinking about green, white, checkered, so I was trying to save a little bit more than maybe Jonah was. But at the end, I didn't. I just saved an extra a little bit and didn't really try to get around him. Just because you just never know with those fuel calculations how it's going to go. So yeah, I mean, I had about another lap, but that ultimately is why I finished second.
Well, and that's the thing. The fuel calculations go out the window when you get yellow flags that come out just before halfway, and you never know if there's going to be another caution. But the strategy it looked like for a lot of people was to make it the one-stop race. Do you think if it went green, the one-stop would have worked for you, or would you have to come in at the end there and top off a little bit, or were you saving enough right there from the beginning?
Yeah, we would have been fine with the one stop. This happened last season in Outlaw, and after we got into the race, I remembered what I had to do because we made it to like I think in Outlaw we made it to like 48, 49, and then I was able to save for the rest of the race. Basically on that next when we came down, took our fuel and got back on the track, I just saved the rest of the time. So that was sort of the plan. We got that caution which helped because we were able to cut it off during the caution, and then we took about 5 laps to sort of separate ourselves from the field, and then we just immediately started backing down. So yeah, I think had it gone green the whole way, I think we still would have been able to make the one stop.
Well, great job being able to save the fuel, working the strategy in your favor, and getting yourself up into P2 here tonight. Before we let you go, Eddie, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here?
Yeah, thank Griff, all the Rebels guys, everybody in Rebels that raced. A lot of fun tonight. Not fuel mileage, not that fun. So I know it's not. We didn't have a good time battling. Everybody was battling the F4 screen, but I want to thank everybody in Rebels for having a good time. Teammate did a lot of good work. Brandon Wallace kind of gave us the heads up on the fuel mileage, so appreciate him. But yeah, glad to see Jonah win. He definitely drove a hell of a race.
Well, again, congrats. How do you like your chances next week at Dover?
I feel pretty good about Dover. I love that track, so I'm excited. Chris McLean's gonna be tough there. He's always good on concrete, so yeah, looking forward to battling with him and whoever else. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm excited about it.
We know
Yeah, I
Kinder's
like
going to be
Dover.
fast because sometimes you got to turn a little right there. So Kinder's usually pretty good there too. So we'll see who gets the concrete championship or concrete win next week. But again, congrats on that, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks, Josh.
That was your second place finisher, Eddie Smith. Let's bring in your winner tonight, Jonah Colbert. Jonah, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hello, Josh.
Man, great job saving the fuel, getting the win, kind of putting a clinic together here tonight to get yourself through a win. What was the thought process when that caution came out just before pit stops? Were you kind of worried about that, or were you kind of happy
Yeah.
to see that?
Yeah, I was really worried actually. I was happy to see it, but I was hoping it would have been a lap later or something. But because I started saving fuel a little bit too late in the first run, and I was a lap shy of 50, so I was gonna have to pit a lap early, and I didn't want to do that. And then the caution came out, so that kind of saved me from that mistake. But then the caution I realized came out a little early, and we were going green right on lap 50, and so I was shutting the truck off all during the caution, hoping that I'd be able to make it. And then yeah, I think I ran it just a little bit too hard after that caution for the first 5 or 10 laps. I wasn't clutching nearly early enough or shutting it off nearly early enough. But so I was a little bit slow there towards the end. But luckily, I had Eddie behind me, so he was doing the same thing. But if anybody else been behind me, I probably would have lost that race. So
For sure. And Eddie gave you a little run there for your money there at the end. How close were you on fuel? I know Mickey Isaac ran out right at the line, and I know Eddie said he had an extra lap in the tank. So how close were you?
I had 1/10 of a gallon. I ran out on the backstretch on the cool down lap. So I mean, it's pretty close.
So that's why you weren't able to get the celebration in, because you ran out of fuel. So that makes a little more
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. I had to have my teammate, help me there. He spun me around to give me some donuts on the backstretch. That's what good teammates do.
Absolutely. Well, next week we move on to Dover. How do you like your chances there?
I like Dover. I'm not as fast as some of these guys here. Like I know Eddie and McLean, and I think even Aaron Adcock they're all pros at Dover. So hopefully have a top 5 there. Be a good day for me. So
For sure. A good point stay is what you need. And before we let you go, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give?
shout out to Chuck Pegleg Felts for the pole award. Shout out to Intensity Broadcasting for putting all this stuff together. Smeal Racing Designs, all those guys, Kinder Farm and Ranch for the Wreckage Rewind. And appreciate you broadcasting. These are always a joy to watch. So,
Well, I do appreciate the kind words. And again, congratulations on your win. And we will talk to you soon. And hopefully we'll talk to you again at Dover.
all right, thanks.
So there you have it. Jonah Colbert, your winner here tonight. Again, don't forget to join us next week as we take on Dover. Don't forget to get a little bit of a break from a couple of our series. The Doghouse Racing League will be racing this week. They will be taking on... They messed up their Discord, so I'm trying to find them. They'll be taking on Pocono Raceway this week, just like the Cup Series did. And then the SCSRA Trucks and Xfinity are taking a couple weeks off. And then we'll have the Friday night Grand National Series here with the Original Rebels Racing League. And that's been a fantastic season so far. Of course, they will be taking off from Iowa this Friday night. And then our doubleheader here at Dover. So join us as much as you can here on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, thanks for joining us here tonight. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Check out our web store below. Just help support the channel. We do appreciate all the help that you give us, all the love and support that you show. Again, congratulations to Jonah Colbert yet again for a great victory on fuel mileage tonight. And as our boy Atman Weiss would say, over and out.